And there was nobody around but Ma sitting there, and a servant was combing her long hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was allowed to be there on the chance of getting a photograph. And so I was very, very close. Ma was as close to me as you are.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's no room, you know, because
Yes,
it's quite a narrow veranda, you know, so you know the proportions of it. So a young man who must have been between, I think, 26 and 28, who had recently graduated as a full-scale doctor, had come up from Bombay to stay for a few days at the Vindhyachal Ashram and was about to take his leave. So he came to see Ma, and she was having her hair combed. And she asked him, by what train are you going back to Bombay?
Mm-hmm.
And he told her, I think he said, I'm going by Allahabad or something. And she listened, and then she said, I don't think that's a good way for you to go. And she then suggested another route, which, if I remember rightly, involved going from Vindhyachal back to Benares, to
Yes.
Kakadam, changing at Kakadam and getting onto another train going off that way. And he was flustered because he'd got his plans for it and got it all worked out in his head, and this was the best way to go. And suddenly Ma was telling him that it wasn't the best way to go, and that he should go this other way, which seemed to him to have no sense to it at all, because it was like a diversion from the most direct route. And so she said, no, this is the way to do it, you see. And so he was expostulating with it, but Ma, you know, and he was coming up with reasons why this was the wrong choice. Well, at the time, and I'm sure that you know this, because you must also know this, that she would select a strand of hair and fiddle with it. And so she was sitting there fiddling with her strand of hair in a sort of inconsequential way, sort of preoccupied, thinking about the trains and thinking about this young man, and also not thinking about anything. You know, she was she was in another state of being from many of us who the others of us the other three who were there. And so he was expostulating. So she got this strand of hair in her hand, and she held up her hand, and as if she was really not attending any further to the matter, she was sort of idly, she took a strand of the hair with probably, I would estimate, between 5 and 10 hairs in the strand. You take it, and very carefully she wound it round this joint in her finger. She wound it round very slowly, and as she wound it, she said, everything that I say and everything that I do has meaning. And and off he went, following her instructions, because as he knew, and everybody else who had any knowledge of Ma at the time knew, when she suggested that you do something, you jolly well better go and do it, or there'll be trouble. Something will go wrong on the way.
Did you get the end of the story?
That is the end of the story.
No, I mean, did you find out what might have happened if he'd gone the other way?
Oh, no.
There was a train accident or something like that?
It's not. That's not germane to the story.
No.
That's not germane to the story. The beauty of what happened was the story. I've told it to you. It's complete in itself. It's absolutely wonderful. And the very fact that she wound him round her little finger. You know, we have that saying in English.